Henry mentioned at the top of the day that we are thinking about what's next for the NSF funded Mcity 2.0. We've got this physical facility, and then we worked on the kind of digital capabilities, and then we enabled it remotely and built open source tools that you can use across the country. And now we're in this era of very fast advancement of physical AI. And so Henry and I wanted to spend a little bit of time for the rest of the time, and then I promise you we'll go out in the sunshine on the field. We wanted to talk a little bit about what's next for Mcity, and it's more of a question of what you think. We have opinions, and I'll let Henry share some of his at the end here. But what do you think is next? So, okay, here's the Mcity Test Facility. Most of us have seen this a lot. Some of us see it every day. It was the first purpose-built facility for originally connected vehicles, automated vehicles. But we built it as a real-world place. And so it served a purpose for that over the last years. In fact, SAE's Auto Drive Challenge, probably the best use of it over the last decade. Finals, I think, are happening in like 3 weeks, June 1st, where student teams from across the country and countries are actually running through a vehicle that they turned into an AV over 4 years. This is year 5, right? So they got a bonus year. Here's an original concept from 2013. This has been out for a decade. And, it has all of the kind of realism of the real world as much as our budget would allow at the time. Represents probably, at the time, about a $10 million investment split between the university and Michigan DOT. And a lot of the capabilities and features and things were used. They were scavenged from the real world. So highway signs and bus shelters. And I think the U of M bus group is still looking for their shelter. Don't tell them. But anyway, so this is the whole point was realism. And early on, everything that we did was orchestrated but manual and physical testing. So, we had sort of very basic NCAP proxies. These have become much more sophisticated. We had very basic triggers and things that were happening, but we were running physical tests over and over. And we did this, for quite a few years. But, then Henry said earlier, he came and started as director, and we talked about this digital opportunity and how to actually build digital layers on top of Mcity and turn this into a test bed that anyone could use across the country or world even, but National Science Foundation is especially focused on companies and academics in the U.S., obviously. So, we built this whole system then that it remotely enables research and development through Mcity if you need. Sometimes it's just purely virtual, like the TerraSim work and things that we looked at earlier. And so, this is this remotely accessible digital infrastructure of today. And I think here's an example. This is a more sophisticated dynamic intercept of an ADS that we tested. And then at the bottom is AutoWare and an early kind of mixed reality system that we built and tested. If anyone's used AutoWare, this is an early version, still out of the University of Tokyo, and got more sophisticated as we went. Oh yeah, that didn't work. Up to, I think Henry showed this earlier, but the University of Buffalo is using Mcity 2.0. They have pedestrian simulation and vehicle sim in New York. They're connecting up to the facility in real time. This is pretty choppy since it's now like over Zoom twice that I'm showing you, but it's actually relatively smooth if you're the guy on the treadmill. But he crossed the street in front of a real car. in the test facility. So we've got this multi-agent distributed testing that they can do from their lab on campus in New York. I wanted to make this a little more participatory. Henry and I, along with Dr. Morley Mao, have a small grant from NSF to try and explore what does this look like in the era of physical AI? What are we building, and what do we need in the future? And some of this is very practical. I would say one of the things that we discovered over the last couple of years, we had this idea that we would build these set of capabilities at Mcity, and then we would just run the crank on each of those capabilities. And so, researcher comes and they want to do capability C. Okay, fire it up. What's actually happened, for example, is that every single capability is new and unique because, of course, that's the innovation. You're not building something somebody else already did. And so, this is one of the learnings, is that everything that we've done over the last several years has involved a lot of custom engineering work, custom R&D, to be able to run these experiments. And NSF has noticed this in their test beds in general, whether it's petawatt scale lasers or other fun things that they run, satellite dishes looking out in space or Mcity. So I wanted to run through, and I'm finally going to use the laptop here. All right, and switch to. All right, so if you see that QR code in the top and the right, or you can go to menti.com on your phone and type in that that 8 numbers. We're going to ask you a set of questions, and you're welcome. I'm going to try and pull up the QA while we're doing this, but let's start with a quick, easy one. There's no wrong answers here. Just curious, your current background. I think most of you are going to be industry, but for some of you, your academic research. And we have folks online. Don't forget that. So it's not just this room, but okay. That was an easy one. I'm going to the next slide. Oh, one other. All right. If you work on mobility or AI systems, what are they? You're welcome to type in whatever you want in here. This should be free text, so you can give us as much or as little. All right, great. Thank you. I should have told you, but we, at the CCAT, which is our USDOT University Transportation Center for this region that conveniently is also led by Henry, we asked these same set of questions. We're going to do a couple more listening sessions and integrate all this into to one data set. All right, the biggest one. Major barriers for you. This can be broad. It's, yes, all 23 of you can put money if you'd like. That's fine. And what else? Not enough data sets. All right, real world data. All right, I see an industry collaboration one in there. Good. Public buy-in and trust. Excellent. Access to expertise. Access. I don't know why I can't say that right now. Access to expertise is excellent. Henry, I'm thinking about what you said this morning, when your vision for how you think universities and industry need to work together in the future. All right, great. All right, so if you're working in mobility systems and you're validating your research or or production systems or whatever they are, how do you do that right now? Simulation, on the road, looking at constrained data sets, or using test tracks or other places. And I think there's a Q&A. You're welcome to throw comments in there if you'd like to provide more detail. That's fine. Or you can always email Henry or me after this. All right. All right, so if I think at the beginning we said, Mcity is a test bed or a mobility makerspace for physical AI. What is that? And there aren't wrong answers here. And then what components are essential if you're developing something? All right, I like that. What's the definition of physical AI? I'm going to make Henry answer this. I think. Here we
go. No, I don't have an answer to it. I think this is really our your time to give us input in terms of what your opinions for what we're gonna do for the next generation of the test bed. So I think it's the less we influence you, the better for us to synthesize in terms of your input to us.
Okay, I like that diplomatic answer. That was good. All right. Open source, I saw scroll by. Access and coordination with compute. Robot interaction with humans. Yeah, with humans. Interesting. Okay. All right. The several that are unfamiliar with it, I think that's good. I think that's really helpful for us. All right. I put some voting in on this one. So if you want to go back to these questions, you actually can kind of thumbs up the ones that really resonate to you. So if you didn't think of it, you can vote for your own. But if you didn't think of it and it's interesting, or you feel it's relevant, especially resonating, go ahead and thumbs up that. I'm going to look at the Q&A here. All right, excellent. All right, 3 of you voted. All right, 12. Let's see what the voting looks like. 14. I'm clicking finish. All right, ease of use, popular. Interfaces with the real world, machine interfaces, so like APIs and things, I assume. Okay. All right, 4 of you. Definition of physical AI. This is good. So I think that, Henry, educating the public, definition of physical AI, these are interesting. All right. All right, this is just narrowing in a little bit. I think of it in your own work or your own research interests. If there was one thing that we could include, and it could be service-based, it could be functional, it could be compute, a system, it could be whatever you can dream up. Somebody holding your hand to help it scale across the country, you get to put whatever you want. But what would you want most included in a next generation test bed? One more for standards development. All right. Digital twin of infrastructure and validation details. Okay. I'm going to skip. I had voting in here, but I'm going to skip it because I think 9 of this said standards. So that's message received. So let me just skip ahead. So let's say we were to host an open challenge. This could have money associated with it. It could not. Could be like the DARPA series. Could be like SAE Auto Drive Challenge 3. Auto Drive Nexus. I like it. What would it be? If you have any ideas. Or if it's not suitable and you don't like that idea. Agtonomy. Okay. Ann Arbor to Detroit, drone related. Okay, that's excellent. Not to plug other things. I have to plug other things happening in the state while we're talking. There is a uncrewed triple challenge that the Michigan National Guard is running up at Grayling. That does have a defense focus, so maybe a commercial flip side to that would be interesting here. I like that. Safety validation. Okay, the crossing the sim to real. DARPA is doing some work in this, but it's a pretty constrained project. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate the input there. Henry, do you want to spend a couple minutes on a couple of the vision? You want me to do that? Okay. You got it. All right. I mean, I think you've seen this today throughout the day. This is a theme, and Henry started the day with it. I wanted to show that that video again from our digital twin. It's true. When Darian started working on the digital twin at Mcity 4 years ago, it was like a $250,000 initiative, an effort that took several years worth of work. And now we're at a place where we're scaling these systems, in data centers to the potential for city scale is very much there, and the quality is quite high, as you can see from this and from what he showed, and the tools that he's been putting together with our colleagues, our research scientist colleagues, to actually even measure the gaps, are showing that we're getting better and better on this by orders of magnitude. It's probably following Moore's law or something. So the next pieces can be, I think, if you think back 4 years, this was kind of hard to imagine. Let's think ahead 4 more years and think about what happens here. What does this look like? That's where we're thinking of going. So we talked about MAir, digital twin of this region and the airspace, and moving, beyond kind of just the confines of the test facility is one other thing that we're thinking about. And then I mentioned earlier, coordinating it or combining it into a combined commercial and research system, I think is a unique opportunity that we have now. So thanks for the time. Thanks for being with us all day. Henry, do you want to close us out? We are at the end. We are at a place where we can go out and enjoy some sunshine. Any final words of wisdom?
I don't have any wisdom after day. My wisdom will be thank you so much, and then enjoy the view of this big house. And so, I think Sue want to do picture. I think that's that. Yeah.
I have information.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Henry. All right, we actually finished on time. Go us! Thank you, Carol, for the accelerated brain dump there. So thank you very much for the day. There is a gentleman who will be adorned in head to toe in Michigan gear. I think he'll be here shortly to take us down. We're going to take the elevators that you came up in down to the first floor, and instead we'll follow him out onto the field. And then I think first things first, if I could get a photo with all of us out there, that's great. And then it's a self-guided tour. You're free to ask questions of the folks who are standing around and do what you want. Thank you very much.